Let that shoulder relax. There it is. We got a really good adjustment on that.
Excellent.
Point to where you're feeling at the lower back pain.
I would say like in this area.
So kind of more onto the center. A little bit to
Again,
the
it's
right
hard just because when you press on it, you don't really feel the pain.
Right.
But, you know, it's definitely radiating inside from this area.
And now, when you say radiating, it doesn't radiate down into the legs here, right?
No.
It's just really localized right in this
It's pretty
area here.
concentrated. Yep, it's pretty
Okay.
concentrated.
And then the initial onset, because you said it's been going on for a couple months ago, and that's when you're doing the race.
Yes.
And were
yes.
you lifting something?
Well, there was never like an instance, like a traumatic instance that I can recall. Because
Right.
again, in the past, I would get lower back pain, but would be able to exercise it off. And
Yeah.
it would get better quickly.
Right.
You know, the past couple months, obviously, that pain has not gone away.
Right. So
Which
it's lingered
prompted
a little bit longer.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get you scoped out. I know you have a big race coming up this week, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably focus a lot on the lower back here. We do still have some issues up on the top here, but this is your biggest concern down below.
Correct.
And because we have you just for today, and then you're going to be off a little bit, I'm going to see what I can do with the lower back, and then when you come back in to get checked out again, we'll probably take a look at the neck and the mid-back later on, okay?
Okay.
So I am going to still scan your spine from top to bottom. Chin down just a little bit. Right there's perfect. And then we'll see how things are doing. Alright, so I got two major players that I'm really looking at in terms of your spine here. The first guy, and again, I know last time when we were checking out your spine, you didn't have any pain when I was pushing on there. We're going to take a look at the movement of that, okay?
Okay.
So real quick, just tilt your back right over here. That's your 5 right there. 1, 5, 1, 5, and then 4. Alright, I'm going to tilt you over to the side here. It's 4, 5. Okay. So no pain when I push you in there, right?
No.
Okay.
Maybe they're very slight, but nothing.
Nothing too drastic. And no pain with this one, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Other than just the pressure of your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to be starting off, is your L5 here. Now, when you feel the pain the most, is it just a constant pain, or is it worse when you're sitting like this, or is it worse when you're walking?
That's a great question. You know, a little inconsistent.
Okay.
But I have to say, the radiating inner pain is worse when I'm up walking and certainly becoming strenuous and start to lift. So
Okay.
versus it seems to relax when I'm sitting.
Okay. So just with walking, are you feeling any pain, or is it really not right now?
Just maybe a little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Then one more time, and I'm going to have you sit. And I think I want to start working on that L5 here. Just want to see if I can have like a before and after comparison to see how you feel with that, okay? All right, so
Yeah,
come
I'll
on
try
in.
to kind of remember.
Yeah, that's okay. Have a seat right in the center. Let that shoulder relax. Just let your body just sink into the table here. There you go. Right there. Perfect. Let it relax. Good. Little tiny piece on that. A little bit more. There it is. We got a really good adjustment on that.
Excellent.
Come on back. Any difference with that?
Hard to tell, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's okay.
I feel a little less of that hot radiating.
Yeah, and that's okay. It was just a subtle difference or not
Yeah,
a difference.
subtle,
That's okay. One
subtle.
more time. Let's have you go, and then we're gonna walk and have a seat back right in the table here. Come on back. All right, let's have a seat. Let's take a look at you. Now we're gonna see. Yeah, I know you've been using a lot of different types of
Yeah.
things to alleviate the pain, whether it be short term or
Sure.
whatever it is.
Right.
So it can be a little bit of a hard time to have a bit of a gauge to tell, oh, like that really
Oh,
helps or
sure,
not.
of course, of course.
But I will tell you, I'm pretty happy with that adjustment
Good,
here.
good.
And the reading here is definitely calming down a lot too.
Sure.
So this is where I think I'm going to want to leave you alone a little bit, see how you do with that,
Sure.
and then send you on your way with the to your race here, okay? The first thing I will tell you is walking and getting some movement is the best thing, okay? As much as you're able to tolerate, okay? Now, I'm not sure what it's going to be in terms of the circumstance of your driving when you're driving out to the race. Where is it going to be located?
It's not that far. It's only Bakersfield, so
Okay.
it's an easy drive. I mean, it's
Okay.
an easy.
So then what I would say, what is that, like a couple hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours.
So the longer you're in the car, the more strain you're going to put onto the body here. So ideally, the typical recommendation for drivers, is every 45 to 50 minutes, try to get out and maybe walk a little bit for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, okay?
Sure.
Just to give yourself a little bit of time to stretch the legs out and get some movement for the lower back. In the meantime, while you're driving though, one of the biggest things that I try to recommend if you're able to do it safely is just while you're driving, just allow your body to rock the belly forward and then coming back down. And it's just one of those ways that if you're sitting for a long period of time, whether it be at a desk, whether it be in the car, or wherever you're sitting for too long, you want to just try to get movement in the joints here. So typically what I'd recommend is just kind of letting your belly just kind of rock forward and then go back to neutral here.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is just kind of go from side to side where you're driving and just kind of letting your belly and your hips kind of lifting up a little bit.
Okay.
What that allows that to do is just get movement in the joints. When you're sitting for prolonged periods of time, I know for you sitting is a little more comfortable,
Yeah.
but movement is what you need. Okay, so just allowing the movement to occur within the joints here. Okay, the other thing is ice is your best friend. Okay, don't
okay.
use any heat right now.
Mm.
You can if it's like kind of more to the muscular area where you're feeling some of the strain here.
Yeah.
But ice is a vasoconstrictor, so it actually helps to reduce some of the inflammation by kind of causing it to flush out there.
Okay, okay.
So it is one, helping to numb the area, but then two, it helps to flush out some of the inflammation in that joint as well.
I see.
Okay.
I see.
And those are really the two biggest things I would recommend is just trying to get some walking in, or if you can't get up and do some walking because you're sitting for long periods of time, just try to get some movement in the lower back.
Okay.
And also just letting your belly rock forward and then coming back. And then second thing is going to be icing.
Okay.
And that's
Mhm.
about 15 to 20 minutes. Every hour to every 2 hours.
Mm.
If it's really consistent, really bad, I can let you ice once every hour.
Okay.
But usually the general recommendation is going to be every 2 hours.
So throughout the day, it's funny, I've tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
I bought an ice belt.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because the heating pad at nighttime has calmed it down.
Mm-hmm.
But now I will, based on your recommendation, I'm going to swap now to that ice on a consistent basis. And it
Try it
actually
out.
should work pretty good because at the races, we work out of a motorhome.
Nice.
I've got a freezer.
Good.
So I'm already, mine's thinking, I'll keep spare ice packs.
Mm-hmm.
And so in relation to that, what helped me get through the weekend, because I did a bunch of mechanical work this weekend,
Mhm.
just a simple copper fit
A back
back
brace.
brace. Is that something
I would
that
recommend that for right now.
Okay.
Long-term wise, it's not a good solution. I want you to eventually, we're going to try to teach you to strengthen your core muscles and start to activate those because they technically have an internal back brace.
Okay.
When you depend on a back brace externally, your muscles get weaker for a long period of time.
Sure.
But short-term wise, you
for
can
this
definitely use
weekend,
that.
certainly.
For sure, go ahead
Okay.
and use that. That's not a problem. But long-term wise, we want to start to activate those muscles to allow your body to strengthen and stabilize, as opposed to constantly depending on a brace for you.
Okay.
Okay. But you can use the back brace. Make sure you're icing. You can also eventually, if you do feel like heat does help a little bit more, you can go back and forth from ice to hot. Okay. But I will generally recommend, just for the inflammation, ice is the best thing to reduce some of
Okay,
that.
got it.
All right, man. Well, that's going to be it for today. Let's see
Okay.
how that does.
Okay.
And then next time you come in, we'll also check out your lower back. We'll also take a look at the neck and the mid back as well.
Got it.
Well, you're all
Okay,
set.
I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thanks for being in the office, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank
All
you.
right.